Hey folks, we're gonna play a fun game called What in the World is in Michael's Pelican. This is the gear that I bring with me on every single show, whether I'm tuning a rig, mixing a show, whatever, it's here in this Pelican 1510, the travel edition, so it's a little bit lighter. But we're gonna open it up, talk through every single tool that I have. There's no ads, no sponsors, no affiliates. This is just me sharing with you the tools that I trust and I've bought with my hard-earned money. Excited to share that with you. There will be a link below that gives you a rundown of all the gear so you can find links and check it out for yourself. Again, no affiliates, just want to help you get access to tools that I think are useful. So let's jump right in. Here we go. Here's my Pelican. It is the 1535 Travel. I got it from pelicancolorcase.com because it has this cool indigo color with yellow handles. I like it so it doesn't go on anyone else's truck because everyone has black cases. I also got a business card here in the front so it can be returned. I'm going to move this up a little bit, then open her up. We're just going to go through in no particular order, start yanking things out, and I'll talk about what I use and why. Again, there's no affiliate links or anything. This is just the gear that I use and I trust. On the lid, I've got the zipper top with these little mesh pockets that I keep a few things in. In the zipper, I keep my Lenovo ThinkPad P15V. Thanks to David Williams for helping me pick this out. I'm usually a Mac guy, or I have nothing against PC. I'm just more familiar with Macs, but a lot of system control and system design software is PC only. And I like having two machines. For instance, this last show, I was able to run wireless Workbench on this, and then the COM control software for FreeSpeak on the other machine, so I didn't have to keep flipping back and forth. I could walk around with my MacBook while this one stayed on the wired internet. So having two machines, whether Mac or PC, is nice. I would say if you're going to get into more system design and engineering, get a PC because RDNet, EaseFocus 3, all these other softwares are PC only. Got a power supply that lives in there. Here we go, that lives in there at the top. Other stuff at the top are super dirty gloves that I use when I'm using chains that are all greasy. These are targets for my laser, which we'll talk about in a minute. If I'm having a hard time getting a measurement, I'll go tape it somewhere and I can see it. Get a measurement. Next is my old business card that I cut in half. It's a nice thick cardstock, and this is great for A2ing. You could cut off a little bit of it and then have under their shirt. It acts as like a little support if the shirt is really flimsy. So I keep those in there. Got a few batteries, 9 volts, and AA's are just spares for stuff. And right here is a Allen key, spare charger, and usually a bunch of Sharpies, but I took them all out on this last show because people needed to borrow them, so I need to restore all that. That's everything in the lid right here. There is another little zipper pocket that I have just a couple of trash bags if I need them. So at the bottom of the case, I'll start here, then work my way up. Here I've got my ISIMCON SC1 calibrator, and I got it marked right here, and this is to calibrate the SPL measurements. That lives here in the bottom. It goes on top of my microphones and plays a test tone. Put the stuff here on the ground. I've got a set of like tiny screwdrivers of all different sizes if I need to break into something and open it up. This guy is an inclinometer, and it's also magnetic. So I could stick it on a truss or a line array fly bar or whatever, and it'll tell me the inclination. So it's really handy. My audio interface, which I love, I plan on doing an entire review on it, is the Evo 8. Sorry, flip it around here. It's got 4 inputs, mic inputs on top, 4 line outs. It's also got a high impedance input for guitars, 2 headphone outputs, a single knob, really clean interface. I've dropped it already and this knob popped off. I put it on really easy and it still works. So it's plastic, but still pretty rugged in my mind. I would definitely buy this again, and anyone looking for a one-stop shop to have as your interface, definitely my pick. All right, moving on down. I carry this on my tool belt on the show site. It's got this nice Klein Tools screwdriver that can flip around and have all sorts of different bits and types all in one screwdriver. Got a normal C-wrench, monkey wrench, whatever, and flashlight. So here goes on my belt. I have a tiny, tiny little router that stays here. So if I'm mixing on an iPad or glass or whatever, and they don't have one, I can create a little Wi-Fi network. Great for control networks for system tuning. If you maybe the main show network hasn't been spun up yet, you want to work on something. Here is my sound bullet. This one's new for me. If you're unfamiliar with it, this is super cool. Let me get it towards you a little bit. It can both generate pink noise or a sine wave, both receive a signal from monitoring through its built-in speaker or the headphone output. It can be a cable tester, and you can generate at 3 different levels, neg 10, neg 40, neg 20. It's super, super cool unit. I've really enjoyed it for testing lines and both being able to maybe both to the A1 that I'm working with, or I need to listen to a press mult or something like that. Super great unit. And really thoughtful carrying case, and it has this little plug here which you can put into it, and it then now can test the DI box, or you can plug headphones to it. So I've been really happy with this. Very rugged design, charges over USB, mini USB, so you don't have to worry about batteries. A little magnetic enclosure, super cool. Moving on, in this little pouch, more random small tools. So some can terminate cable or just strip cables with this guy. Then I have some needle nose pliers, some snips, little stubby screwdriver, which is really handy if you're working in small racks or small spaces. It's also Klein tools. It can flip around and be a Phillips or flathead. I've got a tweaker as well. Again, I love these that they can flip around and be Phillips or flathead. Really great design. Really recommend Klein Tools stuff. All right, then I have the Behringer P1 in-ear pack. This is so I can monitor stuff, or if I'm using my sound bullet for something else, or I need to monitor something in stereo. It's got 2 separate stereo inputs right here. You can pan stuff. I can also accept mono inputs as well. It's 9-volt powered. I've also had to lend it to some talent who their in-ear pack went out before as well. This is a case that carries the USB-C cable for my interface, and that's bus powered, if I didn't mention that earlier, which is super nice. One less power cable to worry about and forget. And these are all my mic clips, and I've color coded them with this nice gaff tape. And this also corresponds with the mic that they're with and all of their traces in Smart. So I run 4 microphones, and here's all these clips, and they also have my initials on them. And they stay here in this nice little Rational Acoustics pouch. Got my name on it. Which leads me to move on to my mics. I got the Rational Acoustics case, my initials, and I just got an old t-shirt, put some gaff around it so these wouldn't move around. But they do roll if you don't have 5, so I would recommend that. And these are my ISIMCON EMX 7150 microphones. I've really enjoyed them. The unit variance is super low. I mean, I don't use a calibration file because I don't need it, because even with it not accounting for the input sensitivity differences, there's literally 0 between any of them, which is great. The frequency response is natural. So all these colors match up with my traces. I always do green, orange, pink, yellow. Gopi, or Gopi is how I remember it. And it lines up there. So those are my 4 microphones I take with me. I also keep my old Audix TM1 in my backpack. So that's my spare. Looking here, just random cables, a USB to type A, another RJ45, USB type A to B, just random stuff, a XLR female to TRS, a USB hub Ethernet thing that can go for my PC if I need to be on multiple networks at the same time. I'll probably add a few more giblet cables here. Moving on, here is my Leica X4. It's my disto. Turn this guy on. It has a camera in it, which is super cool. So if you're outside and it's too bright, I realize it's ironic that the screen got super bright, but it also has an inclinometer on it. So if I'm measuring, needing to take measurements quickly, you can of course change the units, whatever, but it's been great. Carry that with me as well. My Gerber multi-tool, just normal bunch of tools built in here. I carry this in my belt on load in at all times, or during show at all times. Got a Stream Deck, handy stuff. This is, I think, the first gen 15 key, nice and cute. Fits in here for QLab, for all sorts of stuff. OSC commands to a console. Got a regular old measuring tape, so if I need to tape it to a PA as it goes up and measure it, if my disto is unavailable or just measuring a room. So use that guy. It's a Stanley. This is the power supply for my network switch. I probably need to get a better one. This is just for control. It's the Netgear S350, super cheapy. I think it does gigabit, but this is just, I need to get this stack of wireless all connected together and coordinate or whatever. So just a network switch in a pinch. We'll probably get a better one soon that's a little bit more trustworthy and doesn't have the energy saving features and all that stuff. Lastly, I got 4 rolls of spike tape for A2 duties or general labeling. Again, it's the 4 colors. I have them on microphones if I need to relabel those. Also got 1-inch console tape. Probably going to go down to 3/4 inch, but that's here. Lastly are the cables. I keep a TS, dual TS to 1/8 inch, otherwise lovingly known as an iPod cable, a yellow Cat 6, a purple Cat 6, just so I know they're mine. This is my loopback cable for my interface. It's just TRS to TRS, short little cable. Another spare USB type B to A if I need it. This is TRS to male XLR. This is go out of my audio interface into the DSP or the console for system measurement. I have a backup one of those if I need it, or if I'm running dual generators for whatever purpose. And I think that's it. I will say in my backpack, I carry this little charger, portable charger, my MacBook Air M1, and a few network cables. And I think that's about it there. But otherwise, I really love traveling with my Pelican. This is all the gear. I should have a list below to links to everything. There's no affiliates, just to let you know, or I guess the highlights, not to every single cable. But yeah, that's the Pelican. That's what I bring with me to every show. Appreciate you watching.